I already know this video is going to get me a lot of hate. Hopefully you yourself at least agree or at least see where I'm coming from. Check the segments for the intro because there's a longer one here, and enjoy. Welcome to the Briar build tier list. I will be referring to Lowalytics for stats to try and prove some of my opinions, or at least let you in on why I think the things I do. But we're going to be ranking 28 of the most popular Briar builds. If I missed yours, you must be onto some tech that no one else knows about, so it is what it is. But this is all with the idea of like how easy it makes it to climb, right? A lot of these are funner than one another, but in terms of climbing and winning LP, that's kind of the focus. We want to do a Briar build tier list for fun. That'd be a different video. We might have to do that. But either way, on to the rankings here. You have S through D tier. D tier, I pray for you playing this because you're going to have to carry it a lot harder than the build's going to carry you. C needs help. B means that you could likely change one or two of these items, and it could be much better. A is big climb, but just worse than climb ASAP. Go on. And yeah, we're there. This is also only talking about jungle. I'll make some points to, mid and top lane, but let's just keep it at jungle now. What's the data on Briar players? Okay. 90.2% of them that is a Briar player play jungle, so is what it is. I mean, we have to start with the GOAT. Titanic Black Cleaver, still the greatest Briar build. I will actually be ordering these from left to right. That will matter. So I will put it there, and then at the end we'll try and reorganize and so on. But this is just to get the tiers done. Titanic Black Cleaver, not much to be said. It is the best build. You can pivot your third item in such a specific way, and a lot of people wonder, why is Titanic better in high elo than low elo? Mostly it's because in low elo, people are going to make a lot more mistakes, and you get a lot of free punishes with high damage builds or volatile builds. Titanic lets the Briar player create opportunities more, but you have to be able to see those opportunities to get the value of the build. So it just is one of those things where the tankiness can be utilized by a high elo player by staying right on the fine line of a team fight, while also using the Titanic active plus WQ and really good animation cancels to create opportunities. So it's just the GOAT. It is what it is. Nothing else to say about it. Titanic Black Cleaver is pretty insane. Bork Black Cleaver. Now, this one shifted a little bit in terms of popularity, but I actually still think it is the best Briar build for low elo climbing. I think it is better than Critter Lethality because of the way that it pivots to more damage or more tankiness very well, and you do get second my alerts. Thank you, Cobb. Yeah, it really is just that item. The only problem that it runs into is a learning Briar player will not be as tanky as they think they are, and they will troll with it. And that's an honest, real lesson for them to learn, is to really choose your spots. Make sure that your W is hitting the right target. But Blade of the Ruined King is one of the best low elo items in the game because it forces you to win 1v1s. It is the 1v1 item. It has everything that you need, and it even helps you learn to spend your money early game. If you're buying Vamp Scepter Dagger instead of something like Pickaxe Dagger, you're going to learn a little bit about itemization because you're going to lose some fights that you shouldn't be losing because you don't spend your money right. So there's a lot of lessons in Bork. Overall, it's really good. So this, obviously, it is the best build, so it will maintain the #1 spot. There are times where if you're like silver or you're a player that doesn't use the active, this build can go down a lot, but I'm going to assume most of you are clicking the button, so that's why it goes higher than this one. You could still climb insanely high with Bork Black Cleaver, not even close. Doesn't Bork matter in choosing, or doesn't your matchup matter in choosing Bork? Sometimes you would want Bork, but more times than not, no. You would just, if you just close your eyes, picked a Briar build, which one would climb you the highest regardless of anything on enemy team? This is kind of how I'm looking at this. But to try and give some value to that, the Lethal Tempo version would be implying that they have a tank or not, and I think this one is a lot weaker. Bork starts out very strong with 1v1s, but it lacks burst damage, and sometimes you won't be able to get that snap kill. So I think that Lethal Tempo Bork Black Cleaver is much weaker than PTA overall. In certain games, it would be S tier, like against a Skarner. If you went this, you'd be insane. But just, again, blind team comp doesn't matter. This would be much weaker. Now, you have the very popular Collector Titanic right now. This is the most played Briar build. I mean, you can see this is, pick rate of Briar builds. If we sort by all ranks, every single Briar, this is the most played build, and then second is Bork Black Cleaver, and then Lethality and so on. This build is not as good as people think. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty weak, depending on, what rank you are or how good you are with Titanic's active, how much, or rather, how many opportunities you can find while playing the high damage builds. it's kind of, I would say it's very consistent, and it feels very good because you get the best of both worlds with, you know, playing a collector build and a Titanic build. But it is very feel good. But in terms of climb, it's like, it's actually not the best. Would I say it's better than Lethal Tempo Blork Black Cleaver? I would say it probably is, just because of the fact that it's super comfy. And Lethal Tempo always loses a point for me because you have to play around it. You have to look at your stacks, maintain your stacks, and then get fully stacked and then ult. Like, you have to play very intentionally with this. Whereas, like, this build kind of plays itself, right? You Briar combo. Now, this is the same build, but with Halo Blade. If you haven't seen, Halo Blade is actually just, like, doing insanely well with this build. So, if you look at Titanic second, more times than not, you're going to see it'll be Collector first on most common. When you look at this, they're really close, right? Halo Blade is at 24,000 games, 5.25 or 52.5, sorry, and then you have 52.3 for PTA. I think PTA is just better, and I think it might be a little bit better, but I don't know. I think if you play your auto attack cancels perfectly, Halo Blades would be a little bit better, but you have to be very intentional about your Titanic and your Q cast, and because of that, I think PTA is just a little bit easier with less thoughts. So they're very close, but it is. Lethality, a lot of people think that Lethality Briar needs to be played against tanks. I don't think that's true. Or, sorry, needs to be played into all squishies with no tanks. I don't think that's true. I climbed straight to GM on a random Tuesday playing Lethality every single game. Tanks never mattered. There's always one squishy person that needs to be deleted on their team. Your job is to end them, and then whatever else is just extra credit. So going Halo Blades plus full either crit or lethality, you will be left with the job. Take out that one squishy target, and then, again, extra credit. So, I think you very much so could main this to, you know, the highest of ranks, and I actually think it is better than these, so I would put it up here. Currently, I think this is the best lethality build, so you'll see that the rest that follow are much weaker. So Profane, for example, Profane's a lot weaker than the rest right now. If you look at their win rates, you can see Hubris and Voltaic are like fighting for top spot, and Hubris has the added benefit of scaling to add to the win rate, whereas like Voltaic is always consistently giving its value. People could micromanage the passive a little bit better, but Profane's easily the weakest, so I think better options are close for that one for sure. Hubris, same thing. I think it's weaker than this, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really love Hubris in comparison to Voltaic. I really like the consistency of like on command damage, and sometimes it feels like Hubris, like the scaling can matter, but sometimes it just feels like, I don't know, kind of win more-ish at times, and I don't think it bails you out of bad situations like Voltaic can, where if you get two Voltaic procs in a team fight, it feels super good. Is it better than Blork Black Cleaver or Lethal Tempo? Probably. Is it better than these? Probably. I think this one has very easy comfort. I think this one's actually just better by far, though. Let's see what's next. You have Kraken Titanic or Titanic Kraken. I think Kraken is decent right now. Its identity's kind of lost. I think Kraken First is really good, but its follow-up items are kind of just like awkward. They're super awkward. So I don't know. I think the higher rank you go, I think Kraken gets a little bit weaker because it implies some autos that are out of your stun, and you can't always get those, so the higher you go, the worse Kraken gets. So I don't know, in terms of like Emerald plus Kraken, you'll likely see Titanic mostly played, or just full damage slamming with something like Kraken Bork. Overall, this build with Halo Blades, I would say is I think better options are close, and I don't know, man, I'm kind of biased. I think it's a little bit better. It's actually seeming like this needs to come down to better options and change that option to PTA. And then, is Kraken Titanic better than Profane? Yeah. I think this just moves to needs help. Despite it is better option, or coach to change this to this. I think I'm trying to be more honest about like how good or bad it is. AP Briar, I pray for you. I've gotten masters playing AP Briar. It needs a lot of team not trolling you, because they will just quit the game, right? They will. You agree with me yet? Like, comment, subscribe. Take their rage out on you, no matter what AP variation you play. I pray for you with this one. Black Cleaver First, now Overlords. I think Black Cleaver First in jungle is pretty weak, so it definitely needs help. It's probably better than Profane right now. Not bad. Yuntal Bruiser fell off really hard. I pray for you with that one. It's definitely doable and good. You take Jack of all trades, Triple Tonic, get the Elixir of Avarice, set up the 1300 gold recall to buy Yuntal, but even then, it's like kind of forces you into that, and it's not that good. Cleaver Overlords is a top lane build. Junglers play it though. Junglers play it a lot because some other content creators creators, I can't remember, made some videos about it. Kraken Ginsu's is attack speed cap that starts Titanic and then goes, Kraken Ginsu's like this. I just wanted to do this because this one is pretty popular. I think it actually is better than these things, but only if you're really dedicated to it. I see a lot of people asking about Conqueror. Conqueror's just not that good on Briar right now. Or I think a better way to put it is Conqueror's fine. It's just Briar's utilizing other runes way better. So if you look, Emerald Plus, Conqueror, 52.2% win rate, 2,000 games. Everything else is higher with basically more games. It's like, it's good. It's fine. But it's not the breakpoint of M&E build. So more times than not, you'd be taking something else. So Conqueror right now, not really Briar's best keystone. This is Halo Blade's crit Briar. Full crit, Halo Blade, send it through with Infinity Edge second, which can be tough to get sometimes. We can look at Infinity Edge. You can see it's liking the Hubris crit or this. Most commonly, you will see this one with Halo Blades, not PTA. What would this be better than? Worse than this. Is it better than this? I think probably here, probably. This is the Infinite Scale Briar with Hubris, Heartsteel into Overlords, and then Endless Hunger. I actually was surprised at how good this build was. I played a ton of games with it, and I was surprised how good it was. It seems really clickbaity. It was very strong. It was very, very strong. So, yeah, I don't know where I'd put it, though. Like, Hubris PTA start is very strong and consistent. Sometimes the Heartsteel's slow, but as long as you're playing a really consistent early game, it does super well. And if you are not playing a consistent game, it definitely gets worse. So, to pull this off, I would say this is a worse version of Titanic Heartsteel. So, I don't know. It's definitely better than this, for sure. It actually feels super disrespectful to Yuntao Bruiser to put it in AP tier. So, maybe I add a row below to AP tier, E tier. Because that feels disrespectful to Yuntao Bruiser. I don't think it's as bad as AP for ranked solo climbing. This is Kraken Titanic. You can see this is with a different rune. This is the Instaproc 2 Krakens. This is just standard PTA opener. So, let's get organized a little bit. I think, is this better than this? I would say no. But I say this, probably. Attack speed cap, worse than this, probably. Better than these, yeah. So, Kraken, Bork, and Bork Kraken. Now, this one's a really weird one sometimes because full damage on hit Briar is pretty damn good. It's like surprisingly good. And when you look at it, I think Bork is better myself, 53 to 56, and then 53 to 56. So they're pretty even. I just think Bork is a better early game and a more consistent win con. So I would say that this one's definitely better. So where would we put that? What is this better than? And I think it might be better than all of these. And this one's probably really close to it. I would say like it's probably this close. I think these are that close to each other. Just because Titanic second's hard to beat. This is the Heartsteel Tank Briar jungle build. I think that Hubris carries this one to buy Heartsteel because it gives you a lot of damage. I don't think Titanic, although it's very consistent, sometimes getting that extra 3,000 gold, like when you get Black Cleaver, it's really good, and when you get Heartsteel, it still needs time. So I think this one's definitely weaker than this, right? But how much weaker is the question? It's probably here-ish. I think this is still really good. Yuntao Lethal Tempo crit, using Yuntao to get yourself the attack speed to proc your lethal tempo, and then going straight to crit. I'm going to be honest, Yuntao is in a really rough spot right now. I think Yuntao Bruiser's better. I just think Yuntao's in such a rough spot, unfortunately. Kraken Black Cleaver is very weak in my experience. It was really good when it first came out, and it's just kind of fallen down a lot. I think even attack speed cap might be better than it. Mathematically correct Briar with Bork Collector. I was surprised how good this one is, but it's pretty scary to go full damage on 2 items and then try and get tanky after, because by then other people are getting super tanky too. So what would I say it's better than? Probably better than this. Is it better than this? Wow, this one's really high up. Is this better than full crit? It probably actually is. Yeah, it's probably something like this. Eclipse Sundered Sky is so weak right now. Oh my god, it is so weak. I love trying to make Eclipse work. It is one of my favorite items. I love it. It is so genuinely weak. It is insane. This is Emerald Plus. It's negative win rate, and it doesn't get much better doing all ranks. Second item is just Sundered Sky for it. I think Eclipse into anything else is really rough, unless you're fully locked in on Eclipse, Black Cleaver, into Endless Hunger for full ability haste, but that takes a lot to get there. Eclipse is just super weak right now. It might be stronger than Yuntao. This is one-shot Briar with Sundered Sky Sky into Titanic, then Endless Hunger. This is basically trying to do as much burst to kill during your Q as a full bruiser. Pretty weak after the Sundered Sky nerfs, not going to lie. It's definitely better than these builds for sure. If you were to switch Titanic and Sundered Sky, I think this is a lot better. But yeah, it's probably something around here. Yumu's is actually an AP tier. It is disgustingly bad. Hubris Crit, it's all in as hell. I don't think it's so consistent. I think Collector's definitely a better version of this. This is probably better. Here, this is the full healing build where you go Bork into Sundered Sky into Endless Hunger. This one's surprisingly good, no lie. I'll show you the stats, man. It's actually surprisingly good. Again, this is Emerald Plus. Sundered Sky second into Endless. Like, it's pretty sick. And if you look at Sundered Sky, like what's building it mostly is Bork. I actually think this build's like pretty good. I just think the Sundered Sky nerfs really messed it up a little bit. So, despite I think it's good, I don't think it's better than this, but it's up there. Is it better than full tank? Probably by a little bit. I think it might be even this. Yeah, better. And then you have the Korean Profane Sundered Sky Burst Tech. That one is tough for me to rate because I had a really good game when I was playing it, but I don't know. Where would you put this? It's probably right here. Now I'll open up my chat here to questions about specific ones if they think something is out of the way. Okay, mostly the only one that people are talking about is this one right here with Kraken Titanic. And how can we make that better? I think swapping this one up is just good. I actually think this build is very good and pretty deserving of A tier. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. I'm trying not to show too much bruiser bias here, but I mean, Titanic is just that good. And again, the ones in like needs help, right? Like swapping this to a different item, like Black Cleaver makes sense. Swapping the order of these, swapping this to Black Cleaver, like every road leads back to Titanic Black Cleaver, unfortunately, but it makes sense. I mean, I guess this one does make sense, right? Like, is Halo Blade's really that much better? I think so, but is it actually true? Let me try and take away my bias here. I mean, lower play rate, but it is doing better. I don't think I can rightfully have this one and needs help and then not, but better than this, probably better than that. Builds Titanic, right? Yeah, I mean, like, the main way to see this is like way too thematic of builds are definitely weaker than just straight up, ranked slamming. And Sundered Sky, Yuntal, Eclipse are just all so weak right now. Full tank, really? I think full tank could be better. Sundered Sky is really in that spot. Troby, thanks so much. Super Jenner. Yeah, I think I'm actually feeling pretty good about this. No lie. Does Black Cleaver not synergize well outside of bruiser builds? It synergizes with every build really well. It's just the things that sometimes it's bringing, depending on the build, has more or less value. Like Bork Black Cleaver works really well as a whole because what the Black Cleaver brings to the Bork is really important, right? Tankiness, ability haste, armor pen, really good. Why it works worse than Kraken is just Kraken implies that you're getting a lot of auto attacks onto like someone, and Bork forces it with the slow, right? So that's the disparity here. Black Cleaver first for Overlord second is mostly just because you want a healthy item that complements it, and you can't build Overlords first, right? But most Black Cleaver things are actually high tier. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You could say like Sundered Sky Black Cleaver, the Zinzao-esque build. I just think that Sundered Sky is pretty weak, and Black Cleaver isn't carrying it. Yeah, I don't know. I think what what Black Cleaver brings to things is like the most important things is either armor pen, ability haste, or tankiness. And if your first item doesn't utilize two of these three things, then it's likely not the best combo, and that's when other things start looking better. So something like, Bork, Kraken, right? They utilize each other very well because XU damage plus inherent high health damage. Whereas like Kraken, Black Cleaver, I don't know. I mean, like maybe it's not as obvious logically as I thought I could explain it. But either way, I don't know. I just think that the things that Kraken needs are things that more directly make it deal its proc. Like, yeah, it does lift it up with a little bit of, movement speed from the Black Cleaver and even ability haste, but I don't know, like things that are like hard forcing the Kraken to do its thing, it's good. So yeah, I think it's I don't know, that is a weird one. Good thought, but still think the builds stay where they're at. But yeah, I think that's the ranked climbing Briar build tier list. Yeah, Voltaic is just in an insane spot right now. Bork Black Cleaver is obviously still one of the goats, even though it's not being played. It hasn't been nerfed. It is still insane. Titanic Black Cleaver is the best. A lot of people do ask, hey, if I'm low elo, should I try Black Cleaver with Titanic? And I would say, like, if your goal is to get to high elo and then climb, I would say, do that. And if you're low elo, let's say you're bronze and you really want to get to plat, like maybe you just run Bork by Cleaver, because once you get plat, if you consider your ranked journey to be over and you're very proud of that, that's awesome. I would say utilize the build that gets you there fast now. So yeah, that's probably it. But I will add a link to this and then put this in my stream. Let me know if you enjoy videos like this. I'd be happy to make more of these random opinionated ones. But thank you for watching. Have a good day. Peace.